Always consult your physician before beginning any exercise program. This general information is not intended to diagnose any medical condition or to replace your healthcare professional. Consult your healthcare professional to design an appropriate exercise prescription. If you experience any pain or difficulty with these exercises, stop and consult your healthcare provider.
I'm so glad you could join me today. We're going to be working on quad strength and knee stabilization. There's a few things you might want to gather before we begin. You might want to gather some resistance bands of different levels depending upon your strength. One that you can tie in a knot or place firmly around a large piece of furniture or a door so you can pull against it. A thin towel, paper plates, a TV tray, something you can slide your feet on the ground in. Maybe a non-resistant band, just a strap or a belt. A ball, varying sizes, even a beach ball or a child's toy would work. And if you'd like to sit on a block to balance your pelvis on. And later when you're up to it, perhaps even a foam roller. All of these exercises can be done without these things though. So, if you have them, grab them. Here we go. We're going to first begin by flexing and stretching our ankles. We're going to try to remain down the center line of our foot, so we're not going to put more pressure on the outside of the ankle or the inside of the ankle. We're going to go straight down the line of the leg, flexing, and then stretching. So we're going to engage the quad, pulling the knee up, flex, and stretch. 2, stretch. 3, stretch. 4, stretch. 5, flex. 6, point. 7, keeping the knees engaged, down. 8, down, up, down. 10, down. If you have trouble staying upright and keeping your back supported while sitting flat on the floor, you can choose to put a pillow or a block underneath your bottom to help engage your core and to sit up tall. Flex and stretch, keeping our quads engaged. Flex, stretch. 3, down, up, down. 5, down. 6, down. 7, and 8, 9, 10. So 20 altogether. We're going to start with our quad engagement. So we're going to place that towel underneath our ankles to elevate them off the ground. We're going to lay flat on our back, flexing through our quads, pulling our knees up, flex, and stretch. 2, and stretch. 3, and stretch. Flex, and stretch. 5, stretch. 6, still going down the center line of the foot. 7, and stretch. 8, stretch. 9, stretch. 10, stretch. 11, down. 12, keeping the quads engaged. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, knees pulled up, 19, and 20. Great job. Okay, now we're going to remove that towel. Next, we're going to be engaging our glutes. So essentially, we're going to be squeezing our bottom. So squeeze and relax. 2, and relax. 3, relax. 4, relax. 5, relax. 6, squeeze and relax. 7, down, up,
15, down, 16, down, 17, down, 18, down, 19, really squeeze, down, last one, squeeze, and relax. Next, we're going to be focusing on hip abduction and adduction. So we're going to be swinging the leg out from the hip, keeping our knee and our ankle facing the ceiling. For this, you can use a towel on the floor, a t-shirt, a paper plate, a TV tray. I'm going to be using this slider. So I'm going to place it underneath my heel. I'm going to use my other knee bent for support, and I'm going to lay down. My leg is going to go as far out to the side as it can while maintaining parallel to the ceiling, and then I'm going to slide it back in. I'm going to do this 10 times, in and out, and then I'm going to switch to the other side. So we're going to lay down flat on our back. Hands can go on your hips or at your side. Nice neutral spine. We extend to the side and in. 2 and in. Maintaining that knee and ankle straight up to the ceiling. Mildly flexed foot. 4 and in. 5 and in. Trying to keep this knee also upright. And in. 7 and in. 8 and in. 9 and in. Last one, out and in. Let's switch to the other side. Once again, my supporting knee is straight up and down, in line with my hip and facing the ceiling. The working leg is also going to be facing the ceiling from the knee, slightly flexed foot, and I'm going to sweep it out to the side and in. 2 and in, maintaining my hips. 3 and in. 4 and in. 5 and in. Maintaining that straight up and down, so we don't want the leg to turn out. 7 and in. 8 and in. 9 and in. Last one, 10 and in. Great job. Next, we're going to work on our heel slides. We're going to lay flat for this, placing the slide under one heel. We're going to maintain a flexed foot and pull the knee up towards the ceiling as the heel comes towards our bottom, and then sliding it back out. We want the foot to maintain its flexed position the entire time. If you're not strong enough or flexible enough to move the knee in on its own accord with your quadricep, you can use a band to help you pull that leg in and out. My supportive leg is going to be bent, facing the ceiling. Hands are going to go on my hips. I'm going to flex my foot, sliding my leg out, and pulling my leg in. Once again, if I don't have a slider, I can absolutely use a towel on the floor, a t-shirt, a paper plate, anything that'll help you slide, even a thick sock. 4 and in. Maintaining my flexed foot. 5 and in. 6 and in, out and in, out and 8. 2 more, out and 9. Maintain your flexed foot, out and in. Great job. Switch feet. So I'm going to extend my foot out. Other knee is facing the ceiling. I have a nice flexed position on that ankle. Out and in. Out and in. 3 and in. My back is stable. My core is supported. Out. That's 4. Out and 5. Out and 6. Out as far as it'll go. In as far as it'll go. 7. Out and in. Out and 9. Out and in. Great job. Now we're going to focus on activating our quadriceps again. So we're going to begin with a towel underneath our knees. Sitting up tall, either on a pillow or on a block, placing the rolled towel underneath our kneecaps. We're going to press into the towel, lifting our legs straight and flexed. 1 and relax. 2, lifting everything up and down. 3 and down. Back
activation. 4 and down. 5 and down. 6 down. 7 down. 8 down. Pulling up 9 down. Pulling up 10, holding it, and relax. We're going to do the same exact exercise, except this time we're going to elevate the legs even further and do it over a foam roll. You can accomplish this with more towels, a pillow perhaps. You want something fairly sturdy that you can resist against. Placing our foam roller underneath our knees. I'm going to support myself with my hands in this instance. I'm going to activate and flex my legs up. 1 and relax. 2 and relax. Our lower leg is basically acting as a weight underneath the hinge. So we're using our own body weight to strengthen our quads here. 5 down. 6 down. 7 down. 8 down, really pulling up through the quadricep, engaging that knee lift. Last one, up and down. For our next exercise, we're going to be laying flat on our back again with our stabilizing knee facing the ceiling. Our working leg is going to be flexed, engaged, and lifting up off the ground. So opposed to just lifting from the hip flexor and pulling our leg into the air, we want to go all the way through the heel, engaging the quadricep, pulling up the knee, and extending it into the air. So laying flat on our back, stabilizing knee facing the ceiling. We're going to extend that leg, keeping our ankle and our working knee facing the ceiling, pulling up through the quadricep and straight up and down. 2 and down. 3 and down. Really engage through the heel. 4 and down, almost like a scooping motion. 5 and down. 6 and down. 7 and down. Pushing equally through both sides of the feet so we're nice and parallel. And down. 9 and down. And up. And down. We're going to switch legs now. So I'm going to keep my supporting leg facing the ceiling. Extend my working leg. Foot, ankle, knee all facing the ceiling. Engage the quadricep, pull the kneecap up, push through the heel and lift up and down. 2 up and down. 3 up and down. Keeping that quadricep really engaged and down. Try and keep your back supported and neutral. And down. 6 and down. 7 and down. 8 and down. 9 and down. Last one. 10 and down. Great job. Next, we're going to be working on some patella mobilization. So we're going to extend our leg so it's comfortable and relaxed. And all we're going to do is move our patella up, down, right, and left. So we don't want anything engaged in this instance. We're just simply moving our kneecap in all 4 directions, very gently. If you experience pain with this, please stop. We're just making sure it still has mobility. So up, down, and side to side. Up, down, side to side. Up, down, side to side. Up, down. This is 7, 8, 9, and 10. Up, down, side to side. Other leg. So completely relaxed leg, knee facing the ceiling. We're moving our patella up, down, side to side. Up, down, side to side. Nice and gentle movement here. We're not putting a lot of pressure pressure. We're not forcing anything to go anywhere it's not supposed to. We're just moving it in the 4 directions. Up, down, that's 5, side to side. Up, down, side to side. Up and down, side to side. This is 8, up, down, side to side. 9, and 10. We have 2 more exercises on the ground. We're going to be doing some bridges, and then we're going to do bridges with alternative leg lifts. So do these as you feel comfortable and as your strength continues to grow. So for this, we're going to maintain a lovely neutral back. We're going to place our feet as close as we can to our bottom, coming straight out of our hips and facing the ceiling. Palms are going to go flat on the ground by our sides. We're going to flex our feet up so our toes lift off the floor if possible. Now, I would like you to roll your back into the floor, engage, pull up, and we're gonna hold, hold, and roll down. Very good. So rolling our back flat, pelvis rolls up towards our face and continues its journey as it goes up, lifting those toes off the ground. Hold, hold, and roll back down. Very good, that was 2. We're gonna go back up. So flexing the feet, rolling the spine into the floor, lifting the pelvis off the ground, squeezing the bottom, feeling this through our quads. We're holding, hold, gently roll back down. So we're not plopping back onto the floor. We're going up for 4, so we roll up, holding it, hold, and roll down. Now we're gonna roll back up again. So we're gonna flex the toes, press the spine, each vertebrae into the ground like you're trying to create a mold of each piece of bone, lifting up, and we're holding, and roll down, reversing the motion up. We're half done with these, so now we're gonna roll back up, flex the feet, roll the spine down towards the floor, the pelvis comes up off the floor, and we hold it. This is number 6, hold it, and roll down. So very slowly articulate each piece of motion, and we're down. We're going up for 7. Flex the feet, roll the spine into the ground, lifting the pelvis up, holding it, hold, and roll down. Great job. We have 3 more. Flex the feet, roll the spine down, lift the pelvis up off the ground, hold it, and roll down. Piece by piece, very gently. Good. 2 more. Roll the spine in, flex the feet, lift everything up. Hold. Articulate from the top to the bottom as we end up back at a neutral spine. Relax the feet. We have one last one. Flex the feet, roll the spine down as the pelvis rolls up and engages the quadriceps. Lift up very, very, very high, and we hold it. Hold, and roll down. Great work. We're next going to focus on alternative leg lifts with the bridge. So it's combining the 2 exercises we've already done, the single leg lift into the air, as well as the bridge. So there's a lot of components happening here and a lot of things going on. So first I'm going to flex the foot that'll be supporting me. I'm going to roll my spine into the mat again. As I lift up, I engage my quad and press my heel to the air. And I'm going to roll back down as I bend the knee. Switching legs. So flexing the foot that'll be supporting me, rolling the spine down as I engage the alternate quad to lift it straight up into the air. Rolling down and bringing the foot in. Let's do that 4 more times. So I'm going to flex my supporting leg, roll my spine down into the mat, and extend while pulling the quadricep up, pulling the knee, extending the heel to the sky, roll back down, bend the knee. Switching feet. Flex, roll, extend as I pull that quadricep up, and roll back down. flex, roll, press and extend. Roll down and bend. 2 more. So flex, roll down, extend as I pull the quadricep up, roll down and bend. Flex, roll down, extend, engage the quad, roll down and bend. Last time. Flex, roll down, extend, roll down and bend. Flex, roll down, press into the heel, use your quadricep, pull everything up, extend towards the ceiling, roll down and bend. Excellent. Next we're going to be working with chairs. We're going to start with an extended hamstring stretch. So we're going to place one leg up onto the chair, engage our quadricep, pull our foot back towards our face, flexing our ankle, pulling up through our spine, and stretching our leg. Now hold it. Really try to keep the distance between your toes equal and pulling straight up, maintaining that engagement above the kneecap. Once you start to lose the feeling of the stretch, we're going to lean forward just a bit, maintaining the spine so we're hinging from the hip. And relax. Let's switch legs. So same thing. We're going to pull up the kneecap, engaging the quadricep, push through the heel, foot is coming back equally, straight in alignment with the bones in our lower leg, sitting up straight through our core, and stretching our hamstring, the back of our leg down through our calf. Really pulling up. And once we feel good in that position, we can lean into it, hinging from the hips just a bit. We want to avoid a sunken back. So we want to still engage in the core and hinge right from the hips, pulling up the quadricep. And relax. For our next exercise, we're going to be sliding our foot again. Once again, you can use a towel, a paper plate, an old t-shirt, sturdy socks. We're going to place our foot on the slider, sitting at the front of our chair with our spine nice and upright, our core engaged. We're going to slide our foot out and bend our knee back towards our body. Flexed foot out and in nice parallel line. 2 and in. As far back as we can. 3. 5 and in. 6 and in. 7 and in. 8 and in. 9 and in. Last one. 10 and let's switch feet. Sliding the foot out and keeping that flexed foot, maintaining our core. 2 and in. 3 and in. 4 and in. 5 and in. 6 and in. 7 parallel in. 8 in. 9 in. Last one. 10 and next we're going to do a deeper stretch. So we're going to place one foot back, cross the other foot over, and hold it. Maintaining our spine. Hold. Hold. Very good. Now we're going to move on to our other foot. So we place one foot back, other foot over, and pull it back farther, and hold the stretch. Breathe deeply. Next, we're going to complement the straight leg lift we did on the ground by doing it in a chair. So we're going to sit on both of our sit bones, equally in our hips, sitting up tall and supported in our spine and our abdomen. We're going to extend one leg out, lift it up straight, and down. Engaging our quadricep, pulling our knee up every time. And down. 3. And down. Once again, you could use a strap if you wanted to help you engage and pull that leg up until you're strong enough to do it yourself. And down. This is 6. And down. 7. Nice stable leg on the other side. 8. 9. And last one. 10. Let's do the other side. 1. Engaged and straight up and down parallel. 2. And down. 3. And down. 4. And down. 5. And down. 6. And down. 7. Engagement, keeping equal. 8. 9. And 10. Excellent work. For our next stretch, we're going to use a slightly lower object than the chair, but we're still going to be stretching our hamstrings. We're going to place the stool far out enough that our foot will reach. Other leg is still supported. Abdominals are supported. Spine are supported. Foot is pulled back at the beginning in alignment with the ceiling, and we're going to hinge forward from the hips, feeling the stretch down the back of the leg. Holding it. Holding it. You might be able to sink a little bit deeper, holding it. Very good. We're going to relax up and then extend the foot over. Once again, hinging, not rounding the back. We want to hinge from the hips forward. Engage the quadricep up and press into our stretch. We don't want any sharp pain. We only want to feel a nice stretch down the back and the front of the leg. And relax up. Good, let's do our other leg. So our leg is in parallel to the ceiling that's supporting us. We place our alternate leg on the stool, engage the quadricep up, pull the foot towards the face. Everything is in alignment with the ceiling. Abdominals are supported, back is supported, spine is nice and straight, and we're going to hinge from the hips, not curving the back. Hands can be supported to keep us from falling forward, and we're going to stretch the back of the leg. You might be able to sink a little bit deeper into our stretch. Once again, no sharp pain, just a nice stretch. You might want to think of sticking your bottom out, so you're really pulling the pelvis backwards. Coming up a bit, extending the foot over, and once again, hinging from the hip. Not letting our alternate knee go over the toes of our supporting foot. And we don't want to twist our body, we want to be nice and parallel to the ground. And coming up. For our next exercise, we're going to be working on our adductors. So we're going to place a ball between our knees over our ankles, feet right underneath the hips, and we're simply going to squeeze the ball. Squeeze and relax. Really pull up through the center, through the pelvis, so you're nice and supported. You're feeling this not only in your inner thigh, but also in your groin. No pain, just good, strong muscle engagement in. That's number 3, and relax. 4, and relax. 5, squeeze, and relax. 6, squeeze and really feel like you're lifting, and relax. 7, and relax. 8, and relax. 9, relax. Last one. 10, squeeze, and relax. Great work. For our next exercise, you're going to want to attach a folded and tied band to something heavy that's not going to move. In the crease of a door that's been closed, around the bottom of a couch, a large piece of furniture, or someone holding it very steady. You're going to want to play with the level of intensity on your resistance bands due to your ability and your strength as you go. So let's start by putting our lower leg or our heel into the resistance band. Our supporting leg is facing straight to the ceiling. Our spine and our abdomen are engaged and we're sitting up nice and tall. We're going to straighten the leg out and pull it in towards the chair. That's 1. And out. 2. And out. 3. And out. 4. And out. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And last one. 10. Let's do the other. Our supporting knee is facing the ceiling. Our abdominals and our back are nice and composed and straight. We're going to extend that leg and look back towards the chair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, nice and stable. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great job. Let's stand up. Now we're going to do some standing calf stretches. We can hold a wall, the back of a chair, something supportive. We're going to stand with our feet parallel underneath our hips, hold the back of the chair or wall, step backwards with one leg, bending the front leg. We do not want our knee to pass over the toes of our front foot, and we're going to keep our back leg in parallel. So we do not want to turn this leg out. We want it to be straight forward, and we're going to press through the heel in the back. Breathing. And let's switch. Once again, parallel, holding something supportive, step back in parallel, pressing the heel down. Knees do not go over the toes of the front foot. Stretching through the back leg. Very good. Let's do that one more time. Switching. Parallel, parallel, stretching through the back heel. Knees do, once again, not go over the front toes. Next, supported straight back, upright, pressing through the heel. And let's switch. Just a few seconds more. Very good. Now let's stretch our Achilles and our soleus. Same exact setup, except this time we're going to bend the back leg. Bending and stretching through the back leg. So we're going to feel this deep in our calf and lower towards our. Everything is still in parallel. We do not want the front knee to go over the front toes. And relax. Let's do the other leg. Stepping back in parallel, both knees bent, stretching through that back heel. Couple more breaths here. Great job. Now let's work our hamstrings. We're going to hold the back of the chair, standing nice and out of our hip. We're not sinking in on our supported leg. We're going to lift our foot back, flexing the foot, and down. Up and down. Up and down. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's do our other leg. Parallel, out of our hips, supported spine, lifting back with the flex foot 1. We're keeping care to not move our knee around a lot. Our knee needs to be stable. We're primarily working the hamstring in the back of the leg. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, Next, we're going to be working with our band again, either in the door, around something heavy, or underneath some furniture. We're going to place the band around the bottom of our lower leg. We're going to step back until we have some tension, placing the band around our calf. The ball of our foot is slightly in front of us and up. We're going to press our heel down. That's 1. Down. That's 2. 3. 4. 5. Engaging our quadricep each time. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Let's do our other leg. Once again, we're in parallel. The ball of our foot is slightly in front and up, and we press down into the heel. 1, 2. Engaging our quadricep as we straighten. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Next, we're going to be doing some heel-toe raises. So we're going to hold the wall or a supportive chair. Parallel with our feet, we're going to go all the way up and then lift our toes all the way up. 2. Engage our quads. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Next, we're going to be doing some mini squats. It's very important that we keep our knees behind our toes. So we're going to hold a supportive chair, parallel, feet underneath our hips, and we're going to send our bottom back as if we're sitting in a chair and squeeze it on the way up. So we're going to bend down 1 and up, 2 and up, 3 and up, 4 and up, 5 and up, 6 and up, 7 and up, 8 and up, 9 and up, last one, and finish. Next, we're going to incorporate either a stair or a supportive non-slip stool. So with the stool on the floor in front of us, we're going to place one foot up, hands are going to go on our hips, and we're going to step up, and down, 2 and down, 3 and down, 4 and down, 5 and down, 6 and down, 7 and down, 8 and down, 9 and down, 10 and down. Let's do the other leg. As you get stronger, you could even increase the height of the step. Foot is completely on the non-slip staple stool. Hands are on our hips. We're stepping straight out and down. Really using our glute in the front to help lift us. 3 and down. 4 and down. 5 and down. 6 and down. 7 and down. 8 and down. 9 and last one. 10 and down. Great work. We're going to do a very similar exercise, we're going to do a standing one-leg balance. You can hold a supported chair, the wall, or try it with no hands. So holding your chair, other hand on your hip, feet in parallel, you're going to lift one leg into the air, and we're going to hold it for 15 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's do the other side. Feet are in parallel, holding our supported chair, hand on our hip. We're going to lift our other leg off the ground. Holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're so proud of all of your hard work. Join me again next time.